Ready to make a real impact every day? Join the Active Day Home Care team and help clients maintain their independence in the comfort of their own homes. Make a difference in someone's life as you provide essential daily assistance and protect their health and happiness. Earn up to $20 an hour and enjoy additional perks like optional daily pay, 401k, paid time off, ongoing educational training, and more. Join a team that values care, compassion, and your professional growth. Visit activeday.com to apply.
At Arizona State University, we've made online education better, smarter, and more personalized so you can go further in your aspiring field.
I decided to pursue medicine once I realized that ASU did have the online program for biological sciences. You're still required to learn the same curriculum. You're still being tested on the same content that anyone would be tested on in person. The comprehensiveness of the program prepared me so well for medical school.
Explore over 300 programs at asuonline.asu.edu.
This is a Bramble Jam podcast.
Welcome to Girls Gone Hallmark, a Hallmark review podcast. I'm Megan, and I'm a longtime Hallmark fan.
I'm Wendy. I'm a former Hallmark hater.
On today's episode, we're continuing our summer school series and discussing Mystery 101 Dead Talk, the fourth movie in the Mystery 101 collection. We'd love for you to keep up with us after the podcast by following us on Instagram. We are Girls Gone Hallmark.
Hey, you can join our Girls Gone Hallmark Facebook group if you'd like, or if you want to email us, you can reach us at girlsgonehallmark@gmail.com, or one more pitch, you can leave a voicemail for us, but I don't know what that number is.
It's 949-329-8090. I pinned it at the top of our Girls Gone Hallmark Instagram, so it's easy to find, so people don't have to scroll that far. So I don't have to scroll that far. Ooh. It also is in the show notes of these episodes. And if you're looking at the show notes and you're like, it's not there, y'all got to tap through for like the complete show notes. It just gives you a teaser and then clicky on the little link.
And then clicky on the little link. That is right.
Take you to our website, and that's where all of the details are. girlsgonehallmark.com if you're ever looking for show notes for any episode or tons of great Hallmark news, quite frankly.
Mm-hmm.
Let's jump right into a synopsis of Mystery 101 Dead Talk.
Sure. Amy heads to Seattle to give a TED-Talk-style lecture. When a tech genius dies, Amy suspects foul play. When local cops shut her out, Travis joins forces with Amy to figure out who done it.
Mystery 101 Dead Talk was directed by Winifred Jong. She's an award-winning filmmaker with 26 directing credits. Dead Talk was one of her earliest credited projects, but since 2019 has gone on to direct episodes from series like Private Eyes, Heartland, Firefly Lane, and most recently, Law & Order Toronto, Criminal Intent.
Side note, I started watching Private Eyes.
Did you?
It gives me all the Jason Priestley, Brandon Walsh vibes that I've been missing for years and years and years.
My husband actually was like, oh, maybe we should start watching that. So perhaps.
I don't hate it.
Okay, good to
like
know.
It.
And they're rebooting it. They're they're bringing it back.
I know. I'm excited.
Yeah.
I'm excited. I love Jason Priestley. This installment of Mystery 101 was written by John Christian Plummer and Jim Biederman.
Jill Wagner, Kristoffer Polaha, Robin Thomas, Preston Vanderslice, Sarah Dugdale, and Amanda Wong all return.
Tegan Moss plays Lieutenant Rachel Knox. Tegan has 85 acting credits and was last seen on Hallmark in Love in Glacier National, a national park romance from 2023. That was a real short-lived collection
franchise.
Of movies. Yeah.
Matthew James Dowden plays Amy's ex, Tim Bishop. You might recognize him as Pastor McGregor from the Chicken Sisters. He also co-starred in Hallmark's Dream Moms and The Holiday Sitter.
Lachlan Monroe plays Detective Denny Roma with 238 acting credits and 12 upcoming projects. Lachlan has been in almost everything. We last saw him on Hallmark as Richard in the Curious Caterer series.
Mark Crisco plays dead tech guy Mitchell McHale. Dead Talk was the last Hallmark project for Mark. He has gone on to appear in DC's Legends of Tomorrow, Fire Country, and Billy the Kid.
Garrett Black plays suspect Billy Poole. Garrett might look familiar to Hallmark fans as he's been in quite a bit for the network, including, most recently, Deck the Halls on Cherry Lane, Curious Caterer Forbidden Fruit, and Tip Line Mysteries Dial 1 for Murder.
Donna Benedicto plays wife Larissa McHale. Donna has appeared in other Hallmark movies like Jingle Bell Bride, Sweet Carolina, and The Professional Bridesmaid.
Benjamin Wilkinson plays dirty lawyer Ray Sweeney. Benjamin most recently appeared as Bernhard Montague in When Calls the Heart.
Well, that's quite a name. Catherine Lowe Hagquist plays new lawyer Vicky Lynn. With 159 acting credits, we last saw Catherine in the Lacey Chabert Brennan Elliott joint His and Hers.
Mystery 101 Dead Talk premiered on Hallmark Movies and Mysteries on September 22nd, 2019.
Let's take a quick break, and we're going to come right back with our first impressions.
Lowe's knows how to set off your July 4th with savings. Right now, buy one, get one free on select one-coat coverage interior paint via Visa gift card rebate. Plus, get 2 select 2 or 2.5 quart red, white, and blue annuals for just $10. Hurry, these July 4th deals won't last long. Lowe's, we help, you save. Valid through 7/9. Selection varies by location. While supplies last, excludes Alaska and Hawaii. More terms and restrictions apply. See Lowe's.com/rebates for more details.
Hey, Wendy, what was your first impression of Mystery 101 Dead Talk?
I call this one Travis Eats Humble Pie and Amy out detectives him.
Ooh. My first impression is I don't want to review this series anymore because I'd rather just sit back, relax, and enjoy the show.
Oh, why? Tell me more.
Someone told us what these people call themselves. These people.
Oh, did they?
Yeah.
Because we were trying to remember, like, what the heck. You mean the fans of the show?
Yeah. We're 101ers and Polaha Nation. Okay, so
101ers is the cutest thing I've ever heard.
consider me a 101er because I love this series, this franchise. I feel like the movies get better with time. Last week, I was like, this was the best one yet. Now I'm like, this was the best one yet. When Polaha walks on screen for the first time, Joe Wagner's sitting in that coffee shop and he walks in. I was so happy to see him, like an old friend had just joined the chat. Like I was there with them. I didn't want to like sit and take notes. I wanted to put my phone away. I didn't want to have to think about it. I just wanted to enjoy it. I'm all in.
I agree. I do have a thought, though.
Okay.
Isn't it hard to watch these knowing it's going to come to a screaming halt?
Ugh, gosh, it's in my wishes.
Okay. All right. Well,
I'm like, we're more than halfway through.
I know. And I feel like this is a franchise. I mean, honestly, I don't know what comes in the next 3 movies, but I feel like this could be a franchise still happening in 2025.
Yes. It doesn't feel, look, this is only 2019. It's 6 years old. It's not old, but it doesn't feel dated. It doesn't, there's nothing about it that I'm like, didn't age well. It feels fresh and current, and the cinematography on this was really beautiful to me. All of the scenes, I was like, this is so nice to watch.
Yeah, it just makes me kind of sad.
I know. What did you like about this installment?
Well, this particular movie I thought was really sharp. It was really layered. And like you said, it was just fun to watch. I thought the writing was really smart. It gave me a lot of, I've complained about this in the past, like too many suspects. You're trying to throw me off the scent, right? But this one, I thought, all right, we have several viable suspects and motives that really had me guessing until the end. And I gotta say, I was kind of surprised. I didn't see Lieutenant Knox being the bad guy.
Oh, yeah.
Had you?
I started to suspect her toward the end. I started to suspect both cops, the Denny Roma, Lachlan Monroe character, but that felt too obvious to me. And I felt like Detective Knox was the only one we weren't, Lieutenant Knox. Yes. I felt like she was the only one we weren't looking closely enough. I didn't understand motivation. And then I remembered as I was thinking about it, there was something with her father that was unfinished and I didn't know, but I thought there was something there. I really loved this movie as well. One thing I liked is the change of scenery, because I think at some point when we just do a string of murders in the same location, we have to suspend our disbelief too much. And so the change of location is nice for that, because we've got like an offsite murder that, again, they just happen to be present for, but at least it's not a campus adjacent murder. And I did look ahead to the synopsis for the next movie, and it is a cold case.
Oh.
So I think these two combinations kind of help us. I think they're working within the constraints of these mystery murder franchises where we got to continue to have a murder every week. But how do we do it in a way that's not just like, well, now the entire town's dead?
Yeah, exactly.
That was great.
Well done. I agree. Changing up the setting worked for me too. It's in my likes as well. I also want to add that I like that this one wasn't as spooky as some of the other earlier movies.
It's less personal.
Yeah, that's interesting. That's an interesting take. Yeah. Agree. Yeah, because then they can work on discovering or figuring out who did it without having like a personal attachment to it.
Yeah, Amy's dad isn't a suspect.
Right.
It's not a student of hers that's involved. They're fully objective and on the outside, which I thought was great.
Same. I said it in my first impression, but I did love how Travis gets a little taste of his own medicine in this movie.
Yeah.
The whole shift in dynamic between Amy and Travis matters here. I think he is the one that's being told to stay away from the investigation, and now he finally gets to see like what it feels like for Amy to be sidelined. Like he understands her better. I think it means more than what we're just taking at face value here.
Yeah, that's interesting. When you were talking about the shift kind of in home turf a little bit, I think I started thinking only just now when you said that, yes, Travis is on the outside as a detective, but also he's a little bit on the outside in the Travis and Amy dynamic where she's the one kind of leading the charge because she's here to give her teachable talk. And so he's the observer. And while he obviously brings like the detective expertise, in every other movie, as the detective, he kind of leads the charge. And because she's the lead story here, I think it turns their dynamic on their head a little bit more in that regard too.
Well, for me, I think Amy, okay, this is not to dog on Travis, the character here, because I believe he is also a smart, good detective, but I think Amy's clearly the brains.
Yeah.
And it's not meant to make them one less than the other. I think they work so well together, and that is fun to watch, where it's not just like where we have in Curious Cater where Andrew Walker is trying to like clue Goldie in on police work. Like there's like a same level of expertise, but from different viewpoints, which as a viewer of the movie is fun to watch come together.
Totally. I thought this movie did a nice job building tension. We have the tension between Bishop and Travis, which was very fun and humorous.
Trevor.
When he calls Travis Trevor and he's like, I don't know why I do that. And Polaha goes, I have a few ideas. I loved it. It's such a great throwaway line. Loved it so much. And then we also get tension between Knox and Amy and Travis. And I liked that. It's not.
Oh my gosh.
It's not spooky, but
Sorry, I didn't mean to cut, but like even like jealousy tension.
Yeah.
Did you catch that? Like when he sees her and he gives her a big hug and they show Amy like, what the like, who's this chick? Like I just thought it was very good. Very well done.
Agree.
I kind of really loved it that Amy has this secret hobby. Like she understands like this Dungeons and Dragons game that this kid is playing.
Yes.
And for me, it gives her character a new layer because we don't really know a lot about Amy other than she's an English teacher who has a specialty in crime fiction. And she's got this ex-boyfriend and a dead mom. Other than that, like we really don't know anything about her.
Right.
So it was kind of fun to like peel back this layer of like, oh, you know, she's probably a critical thinker. Obviously, we know that, right? But yes, it would fall in line that she would play a game like this because that's what kind of brain she has. Yeah, exactly. Lastly, for me, another thing I really liked, and I mentioned this in an earlier review, I love how they keep weaving literary references into these movies. They talk about books I've never heard of before, which are real books. And I'm like, that's super cool. Like, do I want to look into that? The other part of it is I love that we see Graham, the character of Graham, and he's got like a new book, right? And I wish there could be a spin-off series where we get, have I talked about this before? Like a spin-off into Graham's novels.
Yeah.
Like either
where we
like
get the Atticus Finch.
Yes, something like that. I would love. I would absolutely watch that.
Yeah, that would be great. Well, I'm ready to talk wishes.
Okay.
My wishes all center around things that I find to be missing from this movie.
Oh, me too. Go ahead.
Small wish before I get to my big wish. Bud, Holly, and Claire are hardly in the movie. They just show up at the end. I'm like, come on.
I hated that.
I get it. But I almost was like, why have them show up at the... I mean, I guess they're there for a talk, but I would have loved to see them like weave them in like on a FaceTime or something.
That would have been good. Yeah, I thought the same thing too because I was like, well, I'm missing like a whole fraction of this cast, right? But it wouldn't make sense that they were out there too for the talk.
Yeah, I agree. But like, I think this is Sarah Dugdale's last Mystery 101 movie, so I'm a little sad.
Did she even have a line in this movie?
Congratulations. Nice job.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
My big wish is there's not enough forward motion with Amy and Travis. And to go back to your aren't you nervous about it ending? I'm very nervous about it ending without enough development in this relationship. I do think someone messaged us. I don't know if I hallucinated that and said that they do kiss before movie 7.
I'll tell you where you saw that.
Where did I see
I'll tell you
it?
where I saw that. Because we have on our Instagram the Girls Gone Hallmark Hangout. And I asked in there, I said, I need somebody to tell me that they are going to kiss before movie 7, before I crash out as a human watching this movie. And somebody did say it does happen. I was like, I don't need to know the details of when. I just need to know that it happens before movie 7.
But my concern is I really want to see, I know movie 7 ends on a cliffhanger. I know the fate of these two is hanging in the balance, but I just want the satisfaction of seeing them kind of settling into a relationship. I don't just want the kiss and then they're figuring, like, I want to see them actually experiencing each other as a couple, even if they're not fully fleshed out. Like, I want not just the teasing. We get a lot of the teasing, like, hey, you want to grab dinner? No, I can't. Oh, yes, I can. No, you got to go work on... Nah. There's a little bit of that back and forth, but there's not enough forward. We can tell in this movie they're both into each other.
Yeah. Okay, let me stop you there. 1, I don't think we're going to get that. I think...
No, there's not enough time.
I don't think we're going to get that. 2, yes, there's a lot of... We're getting hints of it. The way they're embracing each other after her talk, I was like, just kiss. I was like screaming at my TV yesterday. Also, the scene you just mentioned about like, I could go to dinner. Oh, no, I can't. Like, I put myself in this, in the role of Amy while watching that scene. And where you have like a man like saying like, oh, no, you need to go do your thing, and like turns around and walk away. Like, can you leave me wanting any more? Holy hell, right? Mm-hmm. So good. I don't think we're going to get to see them as like a full couple before the end of this series. And I hate it.
I know. We're 4 movies in and they're still like flirting around. I feel like maybe movie 6 we get a kiss, and maybe movie 7 they're starting to explore what that means, and then we get whatever this weird cliffhanger is.
I'm mad at every single person who said we needed to watch this. I could have lived the rest of my life not having seen like the entire series because now I'm just gonna be mad like everybody else.
I know. I understand why they're so mad. I get
You
it.
talked about some of my wishes. One that we didn't touch on. There was not enough Graham.
Yeah.
We got him at the beginning. We got him a little bit at the end. Why weren't they like using him to like riff off of, you know?
Uh-huh.
I need more Graham. I love Graham.
I love Graham too. Is that it?
That's it for my wishes.
Let's talk. Did you see that?
I have a few.
Okay, let's hear them.
One, I just thought this was funny. There was all this buildup talking about this cool electric car that costs $1 bazillion and it's a Tesla. and like in 2019, maybe that was still kind of impressive. But in 2025, like every second car on the road is a Tesla, at least here in California.
So in Orange County, especially.
Right. Every white Tesla too, by the way.
God.
So-
I tell you, I was in Montana earlier this year and it was like 2 days into the trip and we passed a Tesla and I was like, have you seen any other Teslas since we've been here? And my kid was like, no, that's weird. It totally stood out. It's definitely a California thing, but I did laugh too when that Tesla was cruising by.
Funny.
That fancy car.
They're like, he's got this cool electric car. I was like, this isn't 2015. I don't know. It just was funny.
Uh-huh.
We got a running scene with Amy, and she's wearing flats this time around. This running scene is when they're running through like the backwoods or whatever after that kid. And I love that she tackles the kid.
Yes.
That was really funny.
I'm actually glad. I was watching it and I was like, is Travis going to tackle this poor kid? I think it was a smart move to have Amy do it.
Yeah. It made me laugh.
Yeah.
This is not officially in my notes, but Amy's wearing this blue dress when they're like at the party or whatever. It's like kind of asymmetrical up top. It's in the movie poster too. She's wearing it. I think it's a dress. It might be pants, but I think it's a dress. So cute. Her clothes are real cute.
She does. Are you talking about? No, not the dress she wears like kind of formally. The one that has like an interesting neckline.
Yeah, that's the one. I have one more. Did you see that?
Okay.
They're just little scenes throughout the movie. We already talked about one, the way that Amy reacts to Burke when he gives a hug to Lieutenant Knox. Burke's chat with Graham about going to go see Amy's talk in Seattle. Like their whole exchange outside like the little coffee place. I just loved it so much. Like,
well, and how he wants Travis to come because he hates her other boyfriend.
I got days off. You gotta use it or lose it. I just laughed. I laughed. I loved it. And then I just like, Travis is feeling jealous about Amy's ex kind of being around, asking Holly questions and stuff. I loved all that. Those were my little did you see that?
And Graham getting him to pack a tux. And Travis is like, nobody's wearing tuxes. And he was like, well, no, we will be. Ugh, loved it.
Yeah. What do you have?
Just two little things. I really enjoyed, that's not the right word. I laughed at Teachable Talk.
Yeah.
But the fact that the movie is called Dead Talk, they're like,
yeah,
you get it? Yeah.
Clever.
Yeah?
I liked it. I liked it.
I'm going to pull a listener mailbag comment actually for this episode because I think it's relevant. Is that okay with you?
Mm-hmm.
We have an email from Jackie who says, okay, so I'm rewatching Mystery 101 because I love it and I know you're going to review it. But in the episode Dead Talk, Kristoffer Polaha is talking about the best PACZKI maker in Chicago. He says Paczki and it's driving me crazy. It's pronounced Punchki, or some people say Punchki, but never like he says it. And here I'm like Paxi when you look at it. So she says, thanks for letting me rant. I'm sure there were other Chicagoans who had the same thought.
Yeah, that's what I was just going to say. Jackie is from Chicago.
Yeah.
I read that email before watching the movie. So when it happened, I was like, oh, this is what she's referring to here. I think if I would have, I wouldn't have known otherwise.
Of course
at
not.
all. Yeah. I still don't even know what it is. What is it?
A donut.
A donut. You know how I feel about donuts. Okay.
Let's rate it.
This one for me is easily the strongest out of the 4 movies we've seen so far. I gave it 4.5 stars.
I gave it 4.25 stars. This might be the first time we have not rated these movies the same. I know
It's going in a nice upward trajectory, though.
I'm actually glad we didn't have the same rating because people get mad when we do the same one.
People do get mad. Sorry, guys.
As if we're it just happens sometimes.
Co-conspiring before the.
Sometimes we agree. That's just the way it works. I'm not gonna be like, it's a 2-star movie. Fight me on it.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you for listening to this episode of Girls Gone Hallmark, a Bramble Jam podcast. If you love this podcast, you know we love your 5-star ratings and reviews. If you're an iPhone user, open up that Apple Podcast app and drop those 5 stars and a few words letting people know why you love this podcast. And we'll be back next time with more Hallmark reviews. Goodbye.
Bye.
All right, friends, before we go, just a quick heads up. You're about to hear some ads. These little gems help us keep the show running and the Hallmark love flowing. So do with that info what you will. Grab a snack, hit the skip button, or maybe, just maybe, listen in and discover your new favorite product. Bye.